As we continue with wall-to-wall coverage of Workers' Day celebrations across the country, we now take you live to SABC News reporter Ntlantla Kgatlhane. He is covering the sentiments of workers at Cosatu's rally at the Royal Bafokeng Stadium and the Northwest Province. Ntlantla, it's great to have you once again on the agenda this morning. Talk to us about what's happening there.
Currently, there's close to about 500 or close to 1,000 members of unions affiliated to Cosatu who have already arrived here at the Royal Bafokeng Stadium in Rustenburg, waiting in anticipation for the addresses by leaders of Cosatu as well as ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa. But currently, I am joined by members of NEHAU, the National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union, who have for some time been raising issues against government that it does not, cater for the rights of their members in the public service. But in order for us to get a clear understanding of what their concerns are and how what their expectation is here today, I'm joined by a gentleman here who's going to introduce himself. But sir, what's your expectation as you are here today, and what are your issues that you have or concerns in the sector that you're organizing in?
Oh, thank you so much. My name is Arwani. We are here with very heartache. Our heart is painful. As NEHAU, you can remember that we went to court and we lost a court case wherein resolution of 2008-2019, ANC decided not to implement that resolution. In other words, they decided to disrespect the workers. And as workers, we are here. It's painful as shop steward because we go to the community, we get mandate from Cosatu to go to community, advise people to vote for ANC. But the very same ANC is taking us to court for the very same agreement that they have agreed with us. I think the relationship with the Cosatu and ANC, now that marriage, there's GBV, there's lots of abuse there, and we are not benefiting as workers of South Africa. I think we are it is very much painful, and we are here to expect Cyril Ramaphosa, whose government has refused to increase our pay. Medical aid is up, tax is up, petrol is up, but our increase, we never get it. So I think we are being abused. What we need here to see, we are just going to witness how the president is going to resolve our issues, because as workers, he doesn't listen to us, and we are the economy of this country, we are the superpower of this country, but no one listens to our voice. As the relationship between Cosatu and ANC, we really need to check, because as NEHAU, how can NEHAU go to court with the government, whereas we have Cosatu? Cosatu was supposed to go to court and represent NEHAU. So we get mandate from Cosatu to tell us to go and campaign for the ANC, but the very same ANC is showing us middle finger.
The gentleman there is indicating that they as NEHAU feel hard done by the ANC-led government. I'm going to bring in another gentleman here who's also going to indicate what their concern or his concerns are and what his expectation will be for today at this event today.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Ntlantla Kgatlhane. Before I say many things, as you can see, the stadium is empty. It's not expected. This is not how it should be expected. We have issues like salary levels, CHCs. There are those workers that are still working as CHCs, workers that they haven't yet absorbed. And the promise was that the workers must be absorbed after 3 months. They must be permanent. But we can come to an agreement that in Gauteng, there are those workers that have been absorbed. But here in Northwest, we are still struggling for those workers, whereas those workers are going in and out of houses, helping our communities. Today, our communities are not here because of they lack that trust from ANC, maybe I can say, to Cosatu. The other issue was the adjustment of salary level 2 to level 3. There are those workers that have been there for 13 years. I'm one of those workers who are still working on under level 2. We were promised that the levels will be from 2 to 3, but not yet. We are still in level 2. We are still struggling to get the trust from our leadership. We are struggling to get trust from our provincials. Every time you bring something different, they're coming up with the stories. So up to so far, we don't know what should be happening, but we expect the president to alert us or to promise us something that will happen recently as soon as possible, because all the institutions, especially Northwest is very corrupt. Northwest is making empty promises every time. So I'm expecting the president to give us something that is legit for today.
So they need a commitment from the state president or from the ANC president, Cyril Ramaphosa, today to indicate that their issues will be addressed. But let's get more sentiments from the workers. Because I understand that there was also an issue. Maybe let me speak to you again. There's also that issue of nurses who are working in rural areas. There was a concern at some point. How's the situation now?
From that point, that's why I'm saying today is very difficult to celebrate this day. If we are working in a very deep rural areas, that's where you will realize that it's tough to work there because you don't have equipment, and we still have a problem of illegal immigrants. In other words, the small instrument or the small facilities that we have to share with the illegal people, which means we have to share the smallest budget and the resources that we have that the ANC government is failing to provide. So it's tough to work there, and actually in Northwest it's tough to work in our hospitals. There's lack of mental health care institution, and when it's come to community health workers, I think ANC is exploiting with them, because those guys, they are the ones that are helping the community to take their treatment. They go house to house. Now they are also being used for COVID screening. They were used for checking all the houses, but they are not there in the system. They are not benefiting the part of a pension. They are not benefiting bonus. They are not getting anything. And those are our mothers. We survived during the, but because there's lack of employment in South Africa. And I also expect Cyril Ramaphosa to tell us about 72% unemployment rate in South Africa. While we know we have illegal foreigners that are working with shops, I don't want to mention them. They are driving scooters, they are delivering food. We know them, but the ANC doesn't want. So as the workers, we want to know if the ANC can implement.
Well, the issue of community health care workers here in the Northwest Province has been there for quite some time, and we've seen at some point how leading a march to the provincial health department. I'm going to ask my colleague Tumelo Sekhabetsi to pen for you so you can see the numbers of people who are here already, or just to have a look at the stadium. We know from Cosatu that the expectation is that there will be about 22,000 members of unions affiliated to Cosatu who will be coming to this stadium to join this year's May Day rally here in the Northwest Province in Rustenburg. But as you can see, the event was supposed to start at 11 according to the program that we were given, but there's a slight delay in that instance because the stadium is still empty to a certain extent, because we are told that they're still waiting for other members of other unions of Cosatu. But as the gentleman has been indicating there, his thinking is that, or his belief is that people do not want to show up here, or people have lost hope. Therefore, as a result, they will not show up at this stadium. But we'll see as time goes on as to whether we'll see numbers of people coming to this stadium to come and join the May Day rally organized by Cosatu. From us here in the Royal Bafokeng Stadium in Rustenburg, is back to you, studio.
All right then, Itumeleng, thank you so much for that indeed, and we'll be catching up with you a bit later on in the program, as of course and when it gets underway, since there are a bit of delays there.